Hello and welcome to Missing and Murdered Mondays on the Crime Queen. Thank you for joining me, and we're going to jump right in with our first case. It is 36-year-old Kristen Sherman and her 3-month-old daughter Freedom. They went missing from Washington, D.C. on December 29th. They were last seen in the 5000 block of D Street Southeast. Kristen was pushing her baby in a black Graco stroller. Kristen is 5 foot 4 inches tall, 140 to 150 pounds, with long red hair, brown eyes, and a scar on her upper lip. She was last seen wearing blue jeans and brown boots. Freedom has a little bit of brown hair. It's not known what she was wearing at the time of her disappearance. If you have any information, please call 202-727-9099 or text 50411. Our next missing person is 15-year-old Kayla Singh. She was last seen December 22nd, 2023 at about 4:30 p.m. She was seen at 212th Place, Queens Village in New York. She's 5 foot 3, 135 pounds. She has bronze-colored hair and dark brown eyes. She was last seen wearing black Nike sweatpants and a black zippered sweatshirt. She has her right eyebrow pierced and a septum piercing as well. If you have any information, call the tip line at 845-866-0442. The next case is 17-year-old Khalil Harrell. He has been missing since September 27th of 2023. He was last seen in Lancaster wearing a gray hoodie and gray sweatpants. Khalil is 5'9" and 140 pounds. He has brown eyes and short curly black hair. There is a possibility that he is in the Philadelphia area. If you have any information, please call the Lancaster Police at 717-735-3300, or you can submit an anonymous tip through the Lancaster Police Crime Watch page. Our next case is 34-year-old Megan Stedman. She was last seen on December 15th of 2023. She is reported missing under suspicious circumstances. She's 5 foot 7, weighs 195 pounds, has brown hair and brown eyes. She has a dead fish tattoo on the inside of her right wrist. She was last seen driving a 1973 RV with Washington plates 187WJY. There's damage to the rear driver's side of the RV. She was last seen with Chris Foyles. If you have seen her, the RV, the dog, or Chris, please call Detective Sergeant King at 406-582-2242 or the Bozeman Police Department at 406-582-2000. The next missing persons case is Dulce Maria Alaves. She was last seen at Bridgeton Park in New Jersey on September 16th, 2019. Her mother had planned on getting the kids ice cream and taking them to the park. After finding the ice cream store closed, they stopped at a convenience store, picked out their ice cream from the freezer. Noema paid for the ice cream, bought a scratch-off lottery ticket, and they headed for the park. The security video from the store would later help with the investigation in determining exactly what she was wearing. Dulce was playing with her brother while her mother and young aunt were watching from the car. Her mother was scratching the lottery ticket, and when she looked up, she didn't see 5-year-old Dulce. Part of the swings were obscured by a small hill from her line of sight, and she thought the little girl was over by those swings. Her 3-year-old brother then approached the car crying. Not being able to speak yet, he pointed to an area with some outbuildings. Dulce's mother, Noema, got out and began searching for her daughter. They found the ice cream her brother had been eating on the ground, but Dulce's was gone. She called her brother to help search for the little girl. During her search, Noema saw someone she had gone to school with was playing basketball, and she went over and told him she couldn't find her little girl. She was told that they witnessed two men and a red van. After searching for about half an hour, she called the police. Police responded and closed off access to the park. There were cameras, but not on the playground. Because it wasn't clear that she had been abducted, police didn't issue an Amber Alert right away, something her mother feels should have been done. The search of the park was intensified the next day, bringing aircraft, drones, dogs, law enforcement from all over the state. No sign of Dulce was found. On the second day, an Amber Alert was issued with a description of the red van and a Hispanic man. The Amber Alert stated that they believed Dulce had been taken by a light-skinned Hispanic male, 5'6" to 5'8", thin build, no facial hair, and facial acne. He was wearing orange sneakers, red pants, and a black shirt. The suspect was seen leading Dulce into a red van with a sliding door and tinted windows at around 4:20 in the afternoon on September 16, 2019. Dulce was last seen wearing a yellow shirt with an elephant on the front, black and white pants, and white sandals. At the time of her disappearance, Dulce was 3 feet tall and weighed 60 to 70 pounds. Dulce would now be 9 years old. An age-progressed photo was released in 2023, and that brought in some more tips, but she still hasn't been found. If you have any information, you can call the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children at 1-800-THE-LOST, which is 1-800-843-5678. Also call Bridgeton Police Department at 856-451-0033 or the FBI Field Office at 1-800-225-5324. There is a $75,000 reward to find whoever is responsible for Dulce's disappearance. Now, this week I wanted to do something a little more. I wanted to add updates to missing persons cases that some people might be following. Last week I shared Jennifer Arizmendi's information, and I mentioned that she had been mistaken for another missing woman, 18-year-old Savannah Soto. Now, Savannah and her boyfriend were reported missing when Soto didn't show up for her induction. She was 9 months pregnant with the couple's son that they were going to name Fabian. The couple were found shot to death in Guerra's car on December 26th. 19-year-old Christopher Preciado has been charged with capital murder in their case. Police say the motive for the murders was a drug deal. His father, 53-year-old Ramon Preciado, has been charged with abuse of a corpse. Records have indicated the couple were killed before midnight on December 21st. Ramon has been cooperating with the police, and he did not participate in the murders. Both father and son are also being charged with altering, destroying, and concealing evidence. Now, in a tragic twist, the Soto family has experienced a lot of loss. In May of 2022, Savannah's 15-year-old brother Ethan had been shot to death. The FBI used the online game World of Warcraft to locate a 16-year-old girl who had been missing from Ohio. The FBI contacted Marion County Sheriff's Office in Florida, reporting that they had traced the girl's account activity to a home in Donelson, Florida. 31-year-old Thomas Ebersole also had an account linked to the address. Police arrived, and at first Ebersole denied knowing the girl. He later admitted to driving to Ohio to meet her and bring her back to Donelson. He was arrested for traveling to meet a minor to engage in sexual activity, interfering with child custody, and sheltering an unmarried minor. He told authorities he had planned on hiding her in his home and then making her his wife. His Discord messages outlined his plan to meet the victim and engage in sexual activity despite knowing he was committing a crime. He's being held without bond. And finally, a silver alert that was issued for a 76-year-old woman in Tennessee has ended in murder. 76-year-old Jackie Glynn disappeared. Her husband told her children she had willingly left after receiving a terminal illness diagnosis. They checked with her healthcare provider, who disputed those claims. Investigators tracked her car to another property owned by the couple. They found a freshly covered hole. Her body was buried in the hole in a large vehicle cargo box hidden under roofing tiles. The hole measured 6 feet wide by 10 feet long by 6 feet deep. Her husband had hired a contractor to dig this hole and told them he was going to use it as a burn pit. 70-year-old Joseph Glynn admitted to killing his wife on New Year's Eve with a hammer. The weapon hasn't been found. He's being held on a $1,030,000 bond. Thank you so much for listening to this week's Missing and Murdered Monday. If you have any information about the cases that we've covered, please make sure that you call the appropriate tip line. If you have a case you would like me to highlight, please email me at thecrimequeen@gmail.com. I will be back with a full-length episode, and thank you very, very much, Crime Kingdom. Thanks.